code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Celebrate chocolate rain. The same crime has a higher price to pay. Chocolate rain. The judge and jury swear it's not the face. Chocolate rain. History quickly crashing through your veins. Chocolate rain. Using you to fall back down again. Chocolate rain.
What the hell was that? Oh well. Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's gotta do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner too in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo, Chicago, I am Officer Kevin.
And I'm Granthony Montano, the internet's busiest internet nerd.
Care to elaborate on that, Grant?
No, not at all.
Okay. A yes hand would have been great, but I will take what I can get.
No buts.
Let's give a thank you to our guest from last week, the wonderful Aaron Klopfer. Thank you, Aaron. And we got a returning guest to the show. It's been a while, but, you know, we're here. We're loving it. We're having a great time tonight. We got Tyler Russo back on the show. What's up, Tyler?
What's good, boys? Thanks for having me.
Hey.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming back, man. It's been, Grant, how long has it been? A couple years, I want to say?
Episode 43 he was on last. So,
really? Holy
know.
shit. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, time has no meaning. Anything past the year 2016 feels like it happened within the past 6 months, and anything prior to 2016 feels like 10 years ago. So if it was in that, then time has no meaning.
And certainly less so now. I completely lost my grasp of reality, as it were. But Tyler, you've been working on a lot of cool stuff since we last had you on the show. Last time we talked about how you and I both interned at The Onion at one point. You did some 3D graphic work there, and you've been doing some more of that. You've been doing some short films over the years, but you've also been doing some work with Adult Swim.
Yeah, I make a lot of bumpers for them. I think it started... a long time ago now, like 2017 maybe. I started doing these like little songs for them. They're on their YouTube channel. If you type in Adult Swim and then my name, all of them like only play on air, and some I think are only on the website too, but they're around. And right now I'm making like a 3-minute cyberpunk thing for them that'll be out at some time unspecified within the next probably like 3 or 4 months. Man. Yeah.
I've noticed that Adult Swim has been reaching out to a lot of online creatives for their bumpers and all these kind of different things. I
think it makes a lot of sense right now too, because it's hard to have a production with like a lot of people obviously involved, and even if you can have something where people are working remotely, I assume it's just like more of a pain in the ass to coordinate with a bunch of like independent contractors who are all contributing to stuff online than it would be if they were like all in house somewhere. So
are you
there's
currently
more like small
working on
scale
this?
stuff they're doing. Yeah, I am. It is like my quote unquote day job right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's something that they can, like you said, kind of continue to churn out while we're dealing with the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just like me and then like some friends I got who are like voice acting for it. And I'm doing like all the music and like graphic stuff. So it's
awesome.
Like, yeah, pretty small crew and easy to get done remotely.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I know to reiterate a story from last time, just because it's been a while. And for those of you who weren't around back then, my favorite memory of working in the same office as you was working on the you know what the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
I forgot the headline. It was like Michael Bay's.
Oh fuck, I do too now. Yeah.
I can't find it anymore. It's like Michael Bay's new Ninja Turtles movie features fully realistic turtle penises.
Yeah, no, I found it. It's still up there.
Fuck yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was such a good video. And you just had these post-it notes around your desk of all these research points of what turtle penises might look like and what you believe them to look like. And I think you took some creative liberties because, I personally am not an expert on the subject, but...
yeah, turtle penises are too wild. I feel like if we made a realistic turtle penis, then it wouldn't even like read as a dick that audiences would be satisfied with on the Ninja Turtles.
So what was, not to belabor the subject too much, but what exactly am I about, I'm going to Google turtle penis right now. Let me see what it looks like.
It's been a while. I'll do it too, though.
The first headline is The Terrifying Sex Organs of Male Turtles. Let's see.
I guess I also have to Google this. I don't want to be the odd man out.
Oh my god!
It was kind of strange and upsetting. You don't recognize it's a penis immediately. It's a bad silhouette. Probably poor international market. And domestic, I'd assume, is smaller compared to what audiences would get out of a normal male penis.
Yeah, we're all used to the big stuff. So yeah, I mean these turtles are.
We can talk about this for as long as you feel.
We can,
you feel like you've dug yourself into a hole and want to get out.
I do. I mean,
jumping out too, but
I'm going to put the kibosh on this. We could spend a whole episode talking about this, but I don't think that's what people want. So I'll move on. Yeah, I mean, like I love your work. You've over the years you put out a ton of really awesome, like I said, short films and other kind of creative stuff, and your 3D work is definitely just really impressive.
Thanks, man.
Speaking of things that are impressive, 0 submissions for the theme song cover contest. Grant, can you believe this?
Damn you people. Well, I did, I won't say any people's names, but I have had a couple people hit me up for like, stems and stuff like that from the theme song. I don't have them. Whatever happened to all of the files when we first started the show are like very difficult for me to find, or they're on Kevin's external hard drive or something. And I don't have any stems or anything. Even if I have the files saved, I don't know if I have the stems for them. So you're just gonna have to use your fucking listening skills if you're out there. But,
Cashew in the chat, she says, if there were actual lyrics, I'd be more than likely to contribute. Make up your
own.
own
Lyrics. Wee woo, wee woo. Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law. Those are the lyrics.
Oh, you shot me in the dick! That's in there somewhere. You can incorporate that.
What is it? F sharp minor, A, B, E, something like that. You can figure it out. The chords. It's 4 chords.
I'll continue to be patient and wait for these to roll in. And like I said, we'll play them at the end of an episode, give you some credit, pay you an exposure. Best form of currency there is. What else we got here?
I got a TikTok now.
Oh, you really want to do this?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I have it. I don't care anymore. It's at grant.mooney on TikTok. If you use TikTok, like the 3 people that follow me do, follow me on there. I got some. I pretend to be Dick Masterson. I pretend to be Granthony Montano. I got a lot of stuff. I'm putting a lot of those short front-facing camera videos on, so...
I'm excited. I think we could possibly get up to maybe even 6 or 7 followers when this episode releases.
Is there a good like absurdist corner of TikTok, like weird Twitter? I feel like it's a platform that would lend itself to that, but like just culturally, it's got a reputation that people who would do that are willing to go into. But I don't know. Like as a platform, it seems fine.
That's what I thought too. I have yet to really see anything that. Because I know like Vine and Weird Twitter had a lot of crossover, but I haven't really seen a lot. Yeah. I don't know. It's mostly just people sharing cringe, from what I can understand.
I haven't really delved into it all that much, but I do know the video where I pretend to be Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé has 500 views, and I don't know how it got it. I guess just people searching for Big Ed, and they're like, "Oh, look, this guy's putting mayonnaise in his hair." Like that's I don't know. I got 500 views, so maybe it'll bring some listeners. If not, I don't care. Whatever, fuck it. What does any of this matter?
Good point. Let's move right along and continue this show here. 2 minutes of hate. This is, of course, a segment of the show. Very famous, very favorite. We like to blanket punish these things that irritate us. They bother us. They get under our skin, for crying out loud. My 2 minutes of hate this week is Twitter joke prompts. Every week I see these, usually on the weekend. I don't know why.
People are
things
bored.
Along the lines of, yeah, I mean, we're bored all the time, but, you know, fuck it. I got no Saturday plans, so I might as well ruin a band name with one word, you know?
One letter, yeah.
Yeah, ruin a band name with one letter. I mean, if it's spelled wrong, you're kind of ruining it, you know? It's pretty fun. The Beatles. What we got for that one? The Beatles with a P instead of a B.
Yeah, that's good. That'd totally ruin them.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to the Beatles.
stuff like that. It's just kind of fun. Everybody can sort of get involved.
Wait, so you're defending it now, or you hate
Yeah,
it?
it's good.
Oh no, I hate it actually.
Okay.
I think,
yeah, just the last sentence. Seemed
yeah,
like
no,
it was
I kind of tricked
retracting
myself.
The previous. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I confused and tricked myself for a brief moment there, but I am back in the game here, and I do think that it is stupid. I think that I don't know where these stem from. Must be like one of those accounts that like follows 500,000 and has 500,000 followers, and just there's people quote you. Hey, quote retweet this with your favorite misspelling, and you'll get famous from it. So
Yeah.
or die trying.
I feel like I've absorbed more memes since quarantine started than I ever have previously, and at this point, it's really just like bumming me out.
It is.
Yeah, like I mean, I've like all of these. I'm surrounded by constant stimulation. My brain has been like fried since I got a smartphone. But like since quarantine started, I feel like I've like ingested more memes just by the process of like being online and scrolling through my feed more than I normally would. And at this point, I feel like it's like weird to see so many variations of the same thing absorbed in like rapid succession like I have. I mean, it feels like weird to extrapolate upon because we're all constantly absorbing like memes and meme culture and variations of the same joke, but it's something about like it happening in quarantine and then just seeing like all of them at once is felt like very like grotesque and like made me aware of the linguistic like phenomenon that they've caused, that how I feel like everyone I know like speaks in like patterns that are just like directly copy pasted from other people's brains and like homogenized in a way that I feel like is probably like semi-culturally unique to these times. Yeah,
do people find
it's
some
hard
sort
to
of comfort in
articulate,
that?
but I think it's something I've been like thinking about for a while, but have just been forced to stare into the abyss of more lately than I have in a minute. Yeah.
Nico in the chat says it's Twitter Stockholm syndrome, which I would agree. My punishment for this is Twitter joke prompts is hey, just retweet it. Retweet the band name when it's spelled right. Have some fun with that, because you say it enough times, and then you're gonna be like, you're gonna be thinking like, I can't find any good albums of the Beatles on iTunes or wherever the hell you get your music at. Kazaa. You search for Beatles on Kazaa, 0 results. Very confusing. Band name ruined. Tyler, did you have anything? Any 2 minutes of hate of your own? You were kind of going on a bit of a.
No, I was gonna say there's nothing that's like really upsetting to be specific right now, but I want to get off my chest. But I guess there was in that. I feel like you're gonna need to trigger repressed emotions in me in order to have me go off, and I want it to happen organically. I haven't sought one out that I feel like
it very well may. If we're lucky tonight.
Yeah, I will. If we're lucky tonight, I will get upset. Or I feel like rather a better way of putting it is like that's the only thing that probably will make me go off on 2 minutes of hate. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing I've been like fixated on that I'm like angry at right now, which is kind of like a lull boredom and
well, you sound
different.
bored. Yeah, you sound bored with the whole like however you put it, just like the death of unique thought and language, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that there's like nothing to get like angry, upset about in the world. I just feel like I'm like fortunate enough that I haven't been like that devastatingly financially affected by this, and I can't like go out or do anything. So it just results in a stagnation and like not even like stuck with my own thoughts or whatever, just like absorbing stimulus and like playing games and fucking around and like trying to pass time. So I'm very bored, but
2 minutes of bored.
Not particularly angry right now.
Well, I think boredom, it counts as a 2 minutes of hate. So
yeah,
we'll go off on that. Punish your boredom. How would you do it?
I'd force it to play 100 hours of League of Legends ranked solo queue.
Just pummel it with stimulus, basically.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what I've been doing. I think probably like reaching the 100-hour mark pretty soon.
And that's what, just within quarantine, or?
I'd prefer not to disclose that.
Within the last several days. Okay.
Yeah, that information is privatized.
I understand. I fully understand.
Yeah.
Grant, what did you have for us this week?
Yeah, I got a problem. You think I don't got problems? I got problems. I got lots of problems. I got a real big problem this week with priests. And you might be like, "Oh, Grant, what are you upset with priests about? Is it the whole child molestation thing? You upset about that?" Yeah, of course I am. When I was growing up in the small town of Warrenville, Illinois, like 2 or 3 of the priests that were at the church that I used to go to were pedophiles. Of course I'm pissed off about it. However, this week, I'm more pissed off about the fact that they stole our fucking swag with their fucking green gun shtick. They're baptizing babies with green water guns full of holy water.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
Yeah, I feel like we sort of co-opted the green squirt gun, and then I go onto Twitter and I see the Pope is shooting babies with the green squirt gun.
Right in the face.
And I'm thinking to myself, what is this, a crossover episode of some kind? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to do a crossover episode with the Catholic Church of all people.
So, yeah. This is how they're baptizing people now. If you haven't seen this on Twitter or anywhere else, there's a lot of these pictures of priests and pastors and the like have these little green squirt guns or like green super soakers, and they're filling them with holy water and shooting babies in the forehead.
Despicable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that screenshot going around.
There's
like,
a
had
couple
no
of
context for what was. Yeah, I've just like absorbed it multiple times without bothering to look into it more. But
That's
yeah,
probably
thanks
smart.
for contextualizing it.
Because they have to maintain 6 feet of distance, so they took our signature green squirt guns that we stole from the iTunes emoji app or store or whatever.
Hey, you know how there's all these like, phase 1, phase 2, and phase whatever, like opening the country?
Yeah.
At what phase can they start molesting kids again?
Probably now. That seems like the kind of thing that wouldn't be mitigated by quarantine.
Okay. I'm just,
Did you want a more involved answer than that, or is that
that's fine. Yeah, I think that
It was rhetorical, I think.
Yeah, as soon
I
as
mean,
possible,
obviously it's like state by state for sure.
Sure, yeah. I think it's going to be up to individual counties to decide when it's a safe time to start molesting children again.
Right.
I don't
And
think it should be a federally ordained affair.
Yeah, I think that states and counties kind of want to have, or at least the illusion of power over what they can and can't do, and keep the priests in line. Lakember brings up an interesting point here in the chat. He says they can be using a novelty claw to molest children,
like the dinosaur heads you get from like the zoo or whatever, and you use that in order to maintain.
They'd probably be
6
more
feet of
traumatic
distance.
because you're taking something that some kids might have an attachment to and then recontextualizing it for something that's traumatic for them.
All right, I got a punishment for them. We take those green squirt guns and we shoot them with it, except they're real guns, except we're in Minecraft, so it doesn't fucking matter. That's what you get, priests. Fuck you. How's that sound for a punishment?
Sounds perfect.
All right.
So moving right along, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often unusual punishment. Grimes reveals she and Elon Musk have updated their baby's name.
I like that they use the word update. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm just. Wait, what the hell? Wait, what the hell is it now?
It's the same, except you know how like the last number is 12. It's like XAE-A12. Well, they changed the 12 to Roman numerals.
Yeah, I don't know. The child's going to grow up to be like a multimillionaire who's probably never bullied in meaningful fashion in their whole lives. Or if they are, but it's like only probably online, and most people are going to kiss ass to their face and they'll be financially set. I have a hard time getting like super invested in this too. I think it's a really interesting phenomenon. And it like reinforces the cyberpunk dystopia that we're all gradually sliding towards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What are your guys' takes on it?
I think it's. I just. It's like, again, it's one of these things where it's not hurting anybody. I don't care. I know that's not really an entertaining or helpful answer, but I really couldn't fucking care less.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fucking nature of it, honestly. I mean, the whole point of the show is us reacting to shit that, everyone's forcing us to care about. And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, half of this shit, at least half of the shit, more than half of it's fucking stupid, So it's like, well.
I mean, this isn't even just
conjure up some feelings. I don't know.
It's not even just stupid. It's just nothing. You know what her reasoning was? It says here, quote, looks better, TBH.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. I don't... what's the punishment? Fuck this.
I think that here, I think this will be a creative solution. I think in order to keep this from happening, we also have to change Grimes and Elon Musk's name so that it's impossible for us to talk about them. Because the only reason why we're capable of talking about their son or daughter or whatever, is because we have to say, oh, Grimes and Elon Musk's kid, because no one's going to say, oh, XAEA12. People aren't going to type that. So we make Elon Musk and Grimes change their name to something that's completely completely can't be read, and then we can just no longer talk about them. How's that sound?
Yeah, Grimes' Twitter name, like half of the word doesn't even like populate on my computer. It's like unrecognized characters.
Yeah, so just change your name to that. Then we can't talk about her anymore.
Both their names changed to those little like rectangles where on your phone where it's like the little the little question mark. It's like doesn't have the emoji yet.
Yeah.
And you go, well, them's the breaks. Let's talk about Karens.
Will you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I'm in the ramble, and there is a man, African-American, who has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African-American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry,
What's
I can't
happening
hear
to the dog?
Yeah, she's like choking
by a
it.
man into the ramble.
Yeah.
Please
She's
stop
definitely
talking.
holding him in a way where the dog's windpipe is getting
I'm in Central
like
Park in the ramble.
crushed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He got his take. Wow. The Karens are at it again.
It is one of those things where it's like, yeah, as soon as you point a video camera at someone, like, you're almost guaranteed to get a reaction like this. It's like, it infuriates people so much to know that they're recorded that they end up making an asshole out of themselves, like, just based on that alone, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably more going on here than her just like getting into a heated panic over being recorded, but yeah, it's definitely not a good look. I feel like the use of the word Karen here is like kind of upsetting because I feel like it makes it seem like it's like maybe a problem specific to like women like this, but like incorporate a lot of other traits as opposed to being probably just like a lot of people who you might not necessarily expect from on face value. And it like makes it easy to say like, oh, like this person is like a Karen, and then it writes them off as like some like subcategories of human, as opposed to pointing that this is just like a fucked up thing that's happening with a lot of people in a lot of different like socioeconomic brackets, you know.
And that's just what it said. Like, it's just even where they are. The headline here on the New York Post just describes her as a Central Park Karen.
Yeah, I feel like it's like it makes light of it, like babies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what's going on without like really adding anything. And I mean, it's one thing to like use a joke to recontextualize something in a way that it's like more approachable or like funny, but I don't know. Using the word like Karen here pisses me off.
Yeah, she's saying she's not a racist. Her life is being destroyed. Let me see.
I do think that I mean, I know just from like running the website that we have and stuff like that, like you do have to use certain keywords, and if people are referring to her as the Central Park Karen, in order for like the New York Post to get any hits on like this story, like they need to refer to her as that so that people find the news story when they search for it, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess that points to it being like a broader like linguistic problem, I guess. I mean, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, just getting like pissed off at like elements of meme culture.
Yeah, the article says here, on social media, Amy is being referred to as Karen, the social media shorthand for white women who call the cops on black neighbors over harmless incidents. I mean, I think there's a lot more to the definition of Karen than just that specific example, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this feels like divorce from at least my understanding of what like the Karen persona is.
Yeah,
You know?
the Karen,
Yeah.
I always understood it to be like the "Can I speak to your manager?"
Right. Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Not that these are like mutually exclusive at all. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like a broad extrapolation of it.
It's under the Karen umbrella, so to speak.
Yeah.
The Karen
I mean, that's-
spectrum.
I think one of the first times it was used was when that like fat lady in sunglasses called the cops on like a couple black children that were running a lemonade stand, if I remember correctly.
I remember that. I guess I didn't know that's like the first time it was. Maybe, yeah. Maybe I just
think
know like
so.
a different definition of a Karen. Yeah.
It was
thought
like
it was a newer
around that
thing.
point.
I think of it more in the context of what Kevin was saying, where it's like the "Can I please speak to your manager" type lady, which again, not like mutually exclusive, but
Wow.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you might be right. I wouldn't know. The tracing back to that
I
lady who called the cops on the girl who's like selling lemonade.
Well, Tyler, I think you bring up a really good point because there has to be a more specific classification because we have Stacy's, we have Karen's. There should be like a more of a sub-classification for a racist Karen, which
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what that would be. I don't know.
Yeah, if our language needs anything, it needs to be less accessible and more esoteric, and have like
Absolutely.
more arcane connotations within increasingly like sectioned off subcultures that are inaccessible unless you've seen it from the ground up, and then
Yeah.
B, have the cultural attention span to dedicate 10 to 14 hours of your day, either passively or directly absorbing it.
Right, you're gonna
Yeah.
want to be follow the right Twitter accounts and get all the information here. You're gonna want to listen to Thought Cops every week, more or less.
Yeah, to be able to have the linguistic clout to impress nobody, because people within that subculture will also look down upon you or not be impressed because they're so desensitized to it that it means nothing to them.
You're
Yeah.
you're 100%
and all our
right.
brains are
And I feel like
boiled slowly.
It's a weird mix. I think that like people who listen to the show are the ones who they follow this stuff pretty religiously, or there are also people who like don't follow it, and this is sort of a look into this other world that they may or may not be as familiar
Right?
with.
Yeah, you're the curators of you. Yeah, you're down in the trenches digging
Yeah.
up the things that will be most.
I know
relevant.
once in a while, if I don't know what to talk about on a show, I'll type in the Discord like, "Hey, anybody have any stories that we can talk about this week?" And people will be like, yeah, I'm waiting for this week's episode of Thought Cops to come out so I know what you guys should talk about." So, yeah.
And
Yeah.
there you have it. So
It's yeah. Sorry, you go first.
I just was like thinking like, what would you? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like. I don't know. I'm Marissa. Is that fair? That not to disparage anybody named Marissa. See, that's the problem. You know what? You don't want to have like. Imagine being named Karen right now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh, God.
maybe that's how we live in like an XAE 12 society. If you just contextualize every like known name that's commonly occurred in the English language right now to have negative connotations associated with certain personality types, so people just have to make like batshit names that don't mean anything and come from no known source.
Definitely.
So it's fucking postmodern Marxists for you.
Yeah.
Definitely an XAE12 move here. Moving on though, it's what else we got here, Grant?
I mean, aside from like the connotation of the word Karen, I mean, there's more to pick apart with this. She, I guess, voluntarily gave the dog back to the shelter that it came from. People, this all happened like relatively quickly. I know last week we were talking about like the lifespan of some of these stories, and that Gengar GF girl, like as soon as she made whatever video that made her go viral, like 12 to 24 hours later, she had people calling her a white supremacist or whatever. This was like a couple hours afterwards. People found her LinkedIn page. She got fired from her job. And like one of my favorite things in here is she says, my favorite thing that people say when they do a racist thing, which is, quote, "I'm not a racist," which is like very clearly just like, she says, "I did not mean to harm that man in any way," which she called the police and told the police there's a black man that's physically like trying to harm me.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, she obviously
knew what
did.
she was doing. Yeah.
Just like own it and say you were scared and did something like stupid in that moment.
Yeah.
I feel like you're retconning it too far if you say that. Like the express purpose of calling is to cause the man harm.
But-
I mean, it seems like she knows she's not really being threatened and could walk away. She was just angry and did something out of like fight or flight instinct.
And I mean, the more we do the show during quarantine, the more evident it becomes that just the cycle is like faster than ever. Like the milkshake duck cycle or the cancel cycle, whatever you want to call it. Like what this process is just firing off at rapid speeds like nothing else. I'm like between episodes, like by the time we get to them, like it's done.
Yeah.
If it happens that morning, it's done.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
By the time this
yeah.
episode comes out, it's going to be expired, yeah.
This is in the fucking history books by Tuesday.
There are no history books now, though.
Yeah.
We don't have a attention span longer than a week. It's just recycled and thrown into the abyss.
Too true.
Yeah.
Even more reason for people to go on patreon.com/thoughtcops and hit up that $5 tier so they can listen to this while it's fresh, right?
There you go. And everybody in the chat's going, woo, yeah, okay, cool. Moving along here. Dear men, what is preventing you...
Did you want to punish?
Oh, I thought I did by
Karen?
calling. I made her a new name. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
All right. So, dear men, what is preventing you from looking like this? You seen this on Twitter, Grant?
I've seen it. I've retweeted a couple of the parodies.
I literally just saw... Oh, no, this is a different one. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, this has been going around for a little bit, right? Is this the original one, May 25th? I feel like I saw it, like, longer ago than yesterday.
I know, I'm like,
Maybe I'm just going insane. I don't know.
I really only have seen it, like, the past day or so, but it could be, like, a recycled something. I don't know.
No, I think it is that new, but it feels so much fucking older. Just
There's very similar tweets that have, like, popped up at different times.
Sure, yeah.
So basically, it's just a picture of a very fit man's torso, and there's even a response here where she had to quote retweet herself and say, "Asking for abs is not body shaming." So apparently this went wrong at some point.
Well, I mean, you're shaming people for not having a certain body, so kinda.
So everybody's posting parodies of this where it's like a picture of Shrek or something where it's like, hey, dear men, what is preventing you from looking like this? I don't know.
Or Luigi with a giant fat ass.
Just filth, more or less. This sucks. Stupid.
Yeah.
I just don't know what
it's the recurring theme today. Just
this stuff
finding
sucks.
something to get angry, and then it's on the tip of your tongue, and then there's just a big sigh instead, and then disgruntled frustration. At least that's how I'm doing right now.
How the
I just
fuck
feel depressed looking over this. Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about earlier. It's that same feeling.
Yeah, it's like. I mean, yeah, it's like we're gonna have to rename the 2 minutes of hate just to 2 minutes of just mundane reflection, because that's all this is.
Yeah.
This thing took the world by storm for 5 hours, and another 2 hours later, nobody cared. What's happening now?
Maybe not. Who knows? I guess we'll find out.
So yeah, a lot of hilarious replies. Obviously, good stuff. Some guy posted a picture of a fit young lady's torso and said, "What's preventing you from looking like this?"
Yeah, a lot of pictures of like anime girls and video game characters and things you'd expect.
That is true. How come women don't look like anime characters? I'm pretty pissed off, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what is it, like kind of a chicken or the egg thing? You know, it's like, what came first, like girls or anime
or
girls?
women?
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
Lakember in the chat says, "I'm enjoying the steady erosion of Kevin's sanity each week."
I'm glad you are, because that's at least it's somebody's having fun with it.
I'm trying to make performance art out of my decay into insanity.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what we're all trying to do. Like, that's what, like, I feel like most art I see being made right now is like a response to just like documenting and recontextualizing your descent into madness in order to have it A, make sense to yourself, but then B, maybe serve as something that anybody else can get anything out of. I guess maybe that's what art's always been, but it feels more like singular now.
Even in the span of the last like 3 minutes, I already forgot what the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah.
And that's all this is worth, you know? That's all it's worth. Let's see. Punishment for the lady writing to all men. No more men. Sorry. We can't live up to your standards that you've imposed on us. We are out of here.
Where are we all gonna go?
Another realm where people will respect us for no matter what our bodies look like.
Yeah, wherever Shrek lives.
Yeah. That dang swamp, and hopefully
Swamp.
he'll let us in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
God can hope.
Let's move right along to our key to the city, which is something nice, something cool we saw this week. And God knows we could use a little bit of positivity right now after all this mindless drivel. My key to the city this week goes to Clickhole. Tyler, you and I were in the room when Clickhole launched. You remember that?
We sure were. That also feels like an eternity ago.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, every time
yeah.
I think of how long ago that was, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But Clickhole came back this week. I didn't know that. I know that they switched hands in terms of management. And
yeah.
from what I wasn't really a big fan of the stuff they've been putting out recently. Like they kept talking about crickets or something on Twitter, but they put out some articles saying that they're back, and their content the last week or so has been really fucking good again. So I'm like, okay, cool. Clickhole's back. So my key to the city goes to Clickhole.
Yeah, how long have they been owned by the Cards Against Humanity people?
I want to say like less than a year. I could be wrong. It was within the last year.
Yeah, when they switched over, and then they were like ramping up writers and stuff again. I mean, I mostly hear this just from people that we like probably both know who work there at the same time as us. I haven't been following Clickhole's content that closely recently, but yeah, that's cool.
Mean, it's been good lately, yeah. And I think that they might have even like taken off a number of things off the website that are now back. So all those old
like the Click Ventures and stuff. Probably.
Exactly, yeah, they're all back, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. When I was like trying to like write for them, they were talking about how they're getting rid of Click Ventures, and it was really sad because it's like I think still probably my favorite part of Clickhole. It's cool that they're back. Yeah,
man, such a great website. Tyler, what was your what was your key to the city this week? Something, whatever part of the show this is.
I'm gonna give it to Emmanuel Yargborough. Do you know who that is?
Not familiar. No.
Yarborough.
Nope.
He's the only MMA professional to have ever been a sumo wrestler. I got really into reading about him a couple days ago. Yeah, just like so wild that in the like 1990s, there was somebody who competed in the MMA as a professional sumo wrestler back when it was just kind of like a Wild West spectator sport. Yeah. Not super relevant to today or
no, it doesn't matter,
cultural
man.
But I think that's why it speaks to me. Yeah,
it's just something that's for once not mindless drivel, whatever the hell you might call it.
Well, I mean, it still is. It's just a different kind that I feel like makes more sense.
The positive
to me.
kind.
Yeah, and it feels culturally divorced from. It feels like the opposite of the Karen choking dog video.
And that's great. That's just fucking fantastic. That we have to compare things to the Karen choking dog video. But that's what we live in.
You mean like for people to understand it, or
like that's how we have to contextualize. I mean, like I agree with you. I'm just like that's just the context that we have to go off of. Where it's like, yeah, I saw this cool thing. At least it wasn't a woman choking a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, my brain is soup, your brain is soup, we're all drowning in it. It's just the end of Evangelion. Except the New York Post and Twitter is the big archangel at the end that melts everybody.
Grant, what did you have for key to the city?
My key to the city this week goes to the Russians, our biggest allies in World War II. And we finally finished fighting World War II because the Russians killed Adolf Hitler's 84-year-old pet alligator. So, it was living in Moscow Zoo, and Stalin finally put the fucking hit on it. So, key to the city goes to the Russians, I guess.
Yeah, this rules. I did not know about this before you posted it.
Exciting times.
Truly, truly. Speaking of exciting times, we're here in pandemic land. We're in the midst of the coronavirus, and this week's Thought Cop's word of the week is coronalingus. If you can put that together, it's when you can get laid during the pandemic. If you can, it's coronalingus.
Nice.
Before we get to our final segment of the show, our listener voicemails. Tyler, where can we find all your great content and wonderful presence online?
I've got a YouTube channel. I think there's quite a bit of that on like Adult Swim's YouTube channel too. I feel like just do a search for my name in Adult Swim, or if you do a YouTube search for just my name, I'll put one in the chat too. You can see my stuff there, and eventually I'm gonna have a new short on Adult Swim, and I'll send that to you.
Oh yeah,
we can do another one of these if you guys are down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to those listener voicemails. If you want to give us a call yourself, dial us at 312-788-7361, or you can send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
Let's get Roy into the news.
Oh, no.
Hey, Thought Cops, it's your granddad, Firecloud. I'm going to take
Hey,
you back
Granddad.
to the year 2000. I was 3 years old playing Super Mario World on the SNES with my uncles that were freshmen in high school. They were living with us
Right.
here at home back in the day. And it was funny because I would press on the controller like I was playing without pressing any buttons. That's just how young I was. I was around 3 or 4 years old back then.
Classic trick.
What's y'all's first video game memory? Officer Grant!
Hey.
Psych! Officer Kevin. This one's
Yo.
for Officer Kevin. Milk Karens are called Kevins. Is this offensive to you? Thoughts? Arigato gozaimashita.
Wow. Wait, is that true? Are male Karens called Kevins? I'm gonna look
It
up.
makes sense.
What is a male Karen? And that's the dumbest fucking sentence ever.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a culturally known thing. At least not nearly to the extent Karen is.
He's
but
going to probably
makes
try and make
sense.
it that. He's
Yeah.
going to make a
You're
campaign out of
contributing
it.
to it right now.
Yeah.
One says Kyle, but you know what? Who am I to argue with it? I think that if that is true, it's very upsetting, especially after the stories we did today.
Truly.
To answer your other question, first video game memories. Mine was Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo at my cousin's house. Tyler, do you have a memory that far back you can think of the first time you picked up a controller?
Probably Pokemon Red.
Nice.
That's the first video game I can remember playing right now. At least I don't know if it's the first game I played, but
Could
I would
you-
be
could
surprised if
you-
it was.
Could you read at the time? Did you have difficulty? So if that-
I think I had a basic grasp of the English language, yeah. And
Yeah.
pictures are very helpful, enough to navigate through a game menu. I mean, when did Pokemon Red came out? It was like 1999? 8? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I probably picked it up like a couple years after it initially came out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe like 99, 2000.
Mine is the original Game Boy, the first Super Mario Land game. For whatever reason, that just sticks out as like the first time that I played a video game is that one particular game.
Is it that big chunky gray
Yeah.
Game Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my sister's.
Yeah, I never had one of those. I remember seeing like kids around with them and thinking it was cool just to have a Game Boy that was that large and obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember thinking that the Game Boy Color was cool and that I wanted a slimmer Game Boy that
Yeah.
had color.
No, I liked how obtuse the big gray one is. Like I didn't know that there was a Game Boy like that. I mean, it makes sense. Granted, the Game Boy Color like would have had a predecessor, but it's not something that my 8-year-old brain could contextualize. Yeah, and no, I like that kind of aesthetic still a lot.
Same.
Like early like DOS machines and shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what's up? How's it going?
Yo.
No, I really hate time limits.
Oh,
I hate them in real life. I hate them when I have had to do a test in a certain amount of time, and the time is too short. You know, really really annoys me, and I specifically hate them in video games because I'm trying to relax here. I'm trying to have a good time, so they're really just stressing me out. And come on,
I can feel
come on.
that.
Just chill out, man. We got time. We got nothing to do. So yeah, and I think specifically people that like time limits, that especially those that are about a minute. I think the people that like those and implement those are gay virgins.
Gay virgins.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think he can only last about a minute, so it should be right around the same.
Damn, you got him.
You got him.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Thank you for the voicemail.
Thought Cops. Hey, about last week's voicemail. There's a fucking dog barking. Oh, it's too late now. I just wanted to apologize. It went on too long and it really wasn't
Apology
that funny.
accepted.
And I made light of Mevin's medical condition.
Right.
I made light of Kevin's medical condition, which really wasn't fair of me to do. Mevin, I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't know. This fucking dog. Shh. Anyway, I just feel bad. I hope you guys can forgive me. It won't happen again. Anyway, how you guys going?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm kind of just filling out time until it gets to 59 seconds for this joke. So just bear with me. It's 5 more seconds.
3.
Shit. Grant.
Yeah, what? Oh, fuck. God damn it. Twice.
Wow.
Twice I got.
I want you to start thinking of Grant at the start of these voicemails. You can't leave him hanging week after week, and I do appreciate the apology. I do. I appreciate that it continued to become a further joke in the next voicemail, but you know what? I could take it. You know, this is let's see if the next voicemail is also an attack on me. Let's
These are confusing so far. They all feel like they're from the same guy doing like different characters of different mics.
Different nationalities.
Yeah, something about the cadence is like, very singular.
Maybe that's just the homogeny that this podcast has created, is that just after a while, everyone that listens just sort of talks the same. Different accents, but the same cadence.
Yeah.
It happens.
Bro, I fucking hate people so much. I have a little theory. If the government or the World Health Organization had some sort of campaign where they said you should wipe your ass, there would be a whole movement of people against wiping your ass because somehow that's against freedom and wiping your ass is communism.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder what would happen if we didn't have seatbelts right now. Like, theoretically, we didn't have seatbelts, and then we suddenly decided to use seatbelts. I bet people would be protesting the shit out of using seatbelts.
People did protest the shit out of using
seatbelts. Yeah, like in the early 2000s when it became mandated.
I got wipe my ass. I'd like to know your thoughts and suggestions and see if I'm onto something, because I think I am.
Yeah, I mean, that seems maybe banal, but true.
So she's asking if the government forces us to wipe our asses, it would be a problem.
For some people, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I just sort of thought up a better example that I think would be maybe even more poignant, is if the government mandated men to like wipe the tips of their dicks when they finished peeing. Instead of like shaking it, you have to use a single piece of toilet paper to wipe.
Yeah,
men across the country would rise up and overthrow the government.
Yeah, especially because it's like specifically trying to domesticate masculinity, right?
Damn
That's
it! Damn them!
what people are getting, I feel like, upset about with seatbelts or quarantine stuff. I mean, quarantine, I guess, is more than that, but yeah, the seatbelt thing. I remember like being a kid in like the early 2000s when cops started giving out tickets for people not wearing seatbelts, and yeah, it was like a big thing. So yeah, I mean, that all feels right.
I have a member of my family that like still refuses to wear a seatbelt, and it has that dinging in the car. It just dings for hours on end. It's the worst sound.
Fuck?
That's so awesome.
I hate it so much.
Well, thank you for the voicemail. You're probably right. Yeah. Everybody, thanks for listening. If you want to leave your own voicemail, like I said, give us a call, 312-788-7361. Or you can send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Tyler, thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Everybody wants to, if you feel like supporting the show, throw us a few bucks over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. We are actually going to be taking a brief break. We will not be here next week. We will be reassembling and coming back harder, better, stronger, faster than ever. So stay tuned. See you next time.
Thanks for listening.
It's all gone out of God's plan. There was a Dairy Queen that raised me in a world I was secretly banned. Drowning in perpetual summer in this warm, stupid, faraway land. Constant stimulations melted my brain. I wanna go to Sarku, Japan. They bought off all of its beauty. They made its face grotesque. No love touches the present. It's time to go to Sarku, Japan. The dome connects to the freeway is the only thing that still makes sense. An angel who's too good for life. I burn my mouth licking the pan. Smoking outside the game store. Throwing rocks into the sky. Screaming until my lungs give out. Eating donuts, watching you cry. We're waiting for the earth to stop burning. We're waiting for the next big step.